Hi, my family. It is an honor to speak to all of you and greet all of you this day. I'm sharing this message to just talk a little bit about my journey at the moment with these cycles and alignments and activations that we've been experiencing and continue to experience. With this last equinox and full moon, my life has transformed a lot externally as my vibration and consciousness has expanded, and I've started to participate more consciously in attuning myself to certain vibrational experiences of the earth and of reality. My trajectory and timelines have shifted to a more primary expression of my essential nature as a divine being incarnate. And as I do that, I start to meet more divine beings incarnate and more beings that are embodying that level of consciousness, which is a beautiful experience. And even when these beings aren't necessarily conscious of this aspect of themselves, I get to meet their divine self because I am embodying that consciousness consciously myself. And it's a gift and an honor to be able to connect with people in that way, and that is really only possible when one is attuning with one's heart to that vibration of love and respect and honoring of the divine self and expression within every soul. And as you start to attune to that vibration, you start to experience a reality in which that is embodied by more than the individual self. And that reality is one of love and compassion, of empathy, of selfless service, of caring for the earth and the animals and the plants. And what starts happening in your external reality is you start experiencing more beings and more spaces in which that kind of consciousness is shared within the collective field. And it's really been an honor to be able to bear witness to the growing community of people that are embodying this in South Africa. And I really just want to acknowledge how much we are doing as individuals and as communities to start really living in a more harmonious way on this earth and with one another within our communities, where we really treat each other with respect and support one another when we need to, and when someone needs it, whether it's someone that needs help building their house or fixing their car or getting some food or getting a lift somewhere. We're stepping up and treating people the way that we would want to treat ourselves, as family. And I think the time for us to really take full responsibility for embodying this way of consciousness in every aspect of our lives is really important now, because it's time to start closing off all of those kind of last gateways to this old earth experience that we're no longer wishing to nourish, that we're no longer wishing to be a part of. If you're wanting to really be living in a world where there's no fear and there's no judgment and there's no guilt and there's no shame, then you really have to make sure within your own consciousness that you have closed off the gateways for that vibration to enter into your field. And so as we take responsibility for that within ourselves, that ripples out and starts shifting and transforming the collective field, and we act as bridgeways and gateways for those that interact with us to step into that kind of consciousness themselves, step into that vibrational experience themselves. And that is our sacred responsibility and our sacred gift of our essence and vibration and consciousness to the world. And the fullest, truest expression of that, the fullest, truest embodiment of our divine self, of our divine essence. And so with this journey also comes with interacting with these different parts of the earth, these different spaces within the earth's field that are retaining sorts of trauma or vibrations that are holding that space or that collective consciousness in states of fear, or in experiences of lack, or in experiences of separation. And so the work that I'm being called to do is working with the grid systems and these vortexes and sites in South Africa to just help clear out any residual stagnant energies that are no longer in service of our collective journey, are not in service of the highest good of all, and free will, peace and harmony and happiness on Gaia. And to, in that space, anchor in this higher consciousness, this way of being of embodied soul living in love and in peace and harmony. And with this energy, also start activating and opening up these sites to their full capacity to act as divine anchors and nodal points and energy centers for people to access these codes and information, as well as bringing back up the information of our ancestors and their teachings for this time, so that we can learn from them and evolve with those teachings as we step into new expressions and experiences of mastery. And so as I'm traveling around South Africa, leading up to the December solstice, I'm going to be particularly visiting Joburg and Pretoria, Cape Town, the Garden Route, and KwaZulu-Natal. And if you are interested in joining me on these missions, or are working with any sites or grid fields or grid sections, I would love to come and learn from you, learn with you, and exchange with you as we connect to honor, appreciate, and fully activate and utilize these sites to their fullest, truest, highest expression. And as we share love with one another and the earth. So, sharing love always. One love, my brothers and sisters. It is an honor to walk this path with you.